corporate gigs kind of suck.
I've never done a.
You never done a big?
I don't think so. Oh, I have, but have you done a corporate gig?
I've done like stuff for like.
No, don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you're my favorite. You seem like the type of guy that might not be doing good at a corporate.
See
gig.
that, and that's kind of and so that's what I learned.
Like one person at Microsoft loves you.
Yeah, but not the whole HR department. They fucking hate me. Okay, Carol from accounting.
Yeah. Guys, what's up? Thank you so much for being here today. This is a very, very, very special episode. This one is for me. This is an episode of just for my doing, for my liking, and not that he's not taking over the world. There's a show called Kill Tony that Naveen and I have been watching for the last couple years. Naveen's been watching it longer than me. It is our absolute favorite thing in the world. Best show on television. It's not on television. It's on YouTube every Monday night. He is a regular on there. And my guy, Uncle Lazer, is here today.
Yeah.
Dude, I would rather be talking to you than LeBron James.
Come on, man. Well, first foremost, it's Tony.
Wait, before you say anything, you're my favorite.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you are my favorite.
Maybe we need to.
And you know what I love about you? You are just like, you just go up there and you're just fucking, you know what it is? I think when I was a kid, I loved wrestling.
Yeah,
I loved wrestling as a kid. And when I saw you, I was like, yo, this guy is like phony, but like also belongs in the WWE.
Yeah. Well, as Tony would say, I'm not actually a regular. Okay.
You're not a regular. Okay. But you're on the show a lot.
I'm on the show.
And not only that, not to take away from he's touring the country right now, selling out everywhere. So you should go see him. He's a great comic. Go.
Thank you. I feel like Bob Barker with this damn microphone. This is amazing. I do love that very much.
Yeah.
No, the show's great. Tony's great. Honestly, the first time I ever did stand up was the first time I got on Kill Tony. That was the first time I ever did jokes.
So tell me. So you put your name in the bucket?
So what it was, I was dating this witch.
Right.
Okay. And we were out.
Already it's a great podcast.
Well,
wait, what?
She was
You're
terrible.
Dating a witch?
She's terrible. I hate her a lot.
Like an actual spells?
Yeah, like we did like a blood oath and we were in it. She taught me about the horoscopes and everything.
Okay.
Mercury's in the microwave, all that shit. And so we went out to this venue, for this music venue for my buddy's birthday. And when we walked in, I saw this band playing and I'm like, damn, this band is really good. Cause I play music. So like, I know when a band is like tight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, they're good. And I said that out loud and she goes, well, I used to sleep with the lead singer and I used to date the guitar player. And I was like, I hope they get in a car accident and die because I hate them. But they're
Terrible thing to
good.
say.
They were good. And we split like a week later and they just happened to be opening up for a buddy of mine at a different venue a week after that. And I hit it off with the lead singer. And at that time, Kill Tony was at the Vulcan. Okay, it wasn't at Mothership yet. Well, at the Vulcan, after the show, they had an after party. All the comics stayed, the fans stayed, and there was an after party band, and they were the band. And so when we hit it off, we started sending memes and goofy shit on Instagram. And he goes, "Man, I'm the after party band for Kill Tony. You should come and like meet Tony and try to get up and do it. I think you'd be good at it." And
Had you ever done stand up before?
Never.
Never.
Nothing. I mean, I had a private Facebook and a Snapchat. And a buddy of mine that I went to school with was like, yo, send me these videos on Snapchat. I'm going to make you a TikTok. And the first one I sent him was like, when Miley Cyrus said everybody in line for the bathroom trying to do lines in the bathroom, I was like, I felt that because I've been there. I was like, but I told my mom I'm quitting, but it's summer and it's early, so we'll see. I love you, Mom. And I thought it was goofy. And I sent it to him. I went to bed and I got up for work the next morning. And I had like 8 million views and like 50,000 followers overnight. And so I was like, oh, shit. Okay, maybe there's something here. But I never had done like actual stand-up. I never even really thought about it. And I got up there and the first night, he didn't call my name. And the second time I went, I met him in the green room. And I thought, because he writes down on his little notes in the order of which the regulars go, you know? So, and I thought he wrote my name down. But when I watched the episode back the other day, he actually did pull me out of the bucket. It was actually like fate or whatever you believe in that. So that was cool. And then, yeah, just kind of skyrocketed. But I found out real quick, you got to actually write. You can't just fire from the hip. Eventually run out of bullets.
Yes.
And so that's what I ran. In a minute, really, I'm like a storytelling comic, you know? So a minute's kind of hard for me. Because you see in my interviews,
Really
that's
hard.
where, like the minute shit, I got a lot of respect for. Like William Montgomery is the best at the minute. Because he just bow, bow, bow. And I'm not punch per line like that. But now as I started writing, I'm like, okay, I can understand how it goes. But the interview is easy because that's just in the garage with your homies talking about
your
UTIs.
life is so wild.
Yeah, it's retarded.
Right? Like, I mean, just a few things that I've picked up watching the show every week is like, porn stars.
Yeah,
adventures with Cam Patterson.
Yeah,
right? He's a friend of yours.
Yeah, so the first show I ever had outside of the first show out of Texas, I did a sold out show in Tampa, and Cam just so happened to be the guy that was featuring for me that night. I didn't bring a feature, and he was actually supposed to be in Miami that night, but he couldn't get a car, so he stayed. And when he walked in, I see him with those dreads, and I see them slides and them baggy ass sweatpants, and that white shirt. In Florida, my crowd is predominantly like redneck degenerates. I love Florida very much, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes over. And 2 minutes in, he lit him on fire, and I'm just like, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah.
And I watched him every night, and I told him at the end, I was like, yo, I don't know what you're doing or what your dream is. I was like, but you need to come to Austin and get found. I was like, come stay with me for a week. And he came down for South by, and we got on a few shows together. And then literally a week later, there was buzz around it that he was in, like this new kid's in town and just throwing darts. And he signed up for Kill Tony and got pulled, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was like, yo, you need to move here. And like, I remember him calling his daddy and be like, yo, this crackheaded white boy wants me to come down to Austin. And I think he's onto something. And literally he went like the next week and he fucking hit it.
That's kind of cool that you,
yeah, I love Cam.
You knew him before anybody.
Yeah,
you knew him before Tony.
Knew him before Tony.
And we went and saw Tony at the Belasco here downtown, but it wasn't Kill Tony. It was just stand up. And Cam opened for Tony, and he was awesome.
Yeah, Cam's electric.
He's like, you feel like, oh, like he's gonna be like.
Yeah, it reminded me.
Like
I think the best way I can describe it is when I first saw him, I was like, yo, this kid is a star. He's not Dave Chappelle because he's not that style of comedy, but he's authentic, right? Like when Cam speaks, like how I speak, like, I'm from some shit, I got some drama, but Cam's the same way. And I think that authenticity shit is starting to shine through. Whenever you can put it all together, obviously you gotta have like wit about you and like know how to do it. But like what the shit I'm talking about on stage, that I'm living that. So it's from a place of like, I'm writing this, yes, but that's actually what's happening,
Yeah.
And it's like people can feel that shit. And Cam's got that it thing, that charisma.
Yeah,
that
and he gets better and better every week.
Every time.
Every week you're like, oh wow, he got a little bit better. It's like, oh, he's really knowing how to do it. And it is so hard. That's what Kill Tony is you have to do 1 minute of stand-up. So hard to be funny in that first minute. To come out.
There's a formula to it. Like I look back, because you watch it like game film, right? I'll watch my episodes back, and it's like you got to say something off the wall real quick to grab their attention. But the one thing I've been noticing, I just have to have energy. The past couple times I've been up there, I've been stoned. Yeah. And when I'm stoned, I'm like, burr, burr. You know what I'm saying?
You're stoned up there?
Yeah.
How do you perform stoned?
See, like, because I'm trying to be a rock star, be Mr. Cool, be Billy Badass, and I'm like. Literally, the perfect formula for stand-up that I found is I can have a beer or two and just be a little buzzed, like playing pool. Like, you ever be in that pocket where you're just like, I'm in a flow state? And I can have that same, because when I get up there and I'm not that energy, it doesn't come off as anything. I just come off high, you know? So, but now I'm just like.
Flow state. Bert Kreischer said that to me once. He's like, my favorite thing is I do like a night of stand-up and I drink. He's like, and then I wake up the next morning, I do morning radio, and I still have like a little bit of the alcohol in my brain.
That hangover brain?
Yeah,
that's some of the best states I've ever had has been hungover.
Yes,
dead ass. Because it's like, fuck these people, I don't want to be here. But then you just give it to them. It's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. So what were you doing before you got into comedy? Like, where'd you grow up? Were you like a normal kid?
I mean, define normal. We didn't have running water in my house until I was 9. But no,
seriously?
Yeah, dead ass. Yeah, seriously. I grew up in a village.
In a village,
Beasley, Texas.
Beasley, Texas. It's super tiny.
Yeah, I mean, there's more cows than there are people.
Really?
Yeah, it's small. Yeah,
so like 200 people in the town.
Like 400 maybe. 400? It may be a little bit bigger. We got a Dollar General the other day when I went and visited my mom. That was nice, convenient. So,
what's your graduating class? Like 14?
32.
32.
Yeah, I was valedictorian.
So what did you do if you didn't have? You were valedictorian.
Yeah, well, I just had to be smart than everybody in the town.
This is what I love about you.
I just had to be smart than everybody in the town.
I guess out of 14, that's not crazy, but
not bad. Hey, baker's dozen.
My first thought was, oh, he's a genius, and then I was like, oh, there's only 14 people.
Yeah, no, I'm just smarter than all the other village idiots. You know what I'm saying? No, I was in the oil field. I was in the oil field since I was 19 to 32, and then
how's that work? Brutal.
Shitty. I mean, look.
Is it pay well?
Yeah. When I quit my job at that venture, I was making like $400,000 a year. So good money.
What?
I had a career. Yeah, like I gave up a career. I remember the first time I got on Kill Tony, I showed it to my mom and them, and like, oh yeah, cool, And then I remember it was the year before Tony did the HEB Center, the New Year's Eve Kill Tony. He did Hinchcliffe and Friends at Vulcan, and he's like, come do a 10-minute spot. And I told my mom, I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna quit my job and do comedy full time. She goes, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
She goes, that's dumb. Don't do that. And I was like, just come watch. So I bought her tickets. She was in the crowd. And it just so happened, because at that point I was dog shit. I was not very good. I remember watching clips and trying to cut clips, like, yo, this is terrible, you know? Yeah. But it just so happened that night, for whatever reason, that moment in time, that was the best set I'd had up until my career at that point. Yeah. I just got off stage and everyone was like, yo, dude, like comics. When comics come to you and they're like, yo, that was great, you know, because I've had shitty sets where people don't even look you in the eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or you've had good sets where comics don't say anything.
Yeah, but you can tell the difference when because you can feel it up there, right? When you're eating a bag of dicks, you can feel it. It's a very unique feeling. But I just so happened to do really great that night. And I remember my mama walking up to me afterwards and she's like, all right, there's something here. And she goes, you got my blessing. And I'm not like I was needed it, but it's better to have them, you know. And my daddy really don't understand it that much because he's simple, goes to work every day, comes home, goes to work the next day. He's a simple guy. And so he don't really, he likes it for me, but he's just like, you know, don't ask me to borrow money. You know what I'm saying? I can tell that's what he's thinking, but he's cool as shit.
Does he ask you about like your process and your jokes and stuff?
Well, this is when so the other night at Madison Square Garden when I was there, okay, legitimately.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I went, Tony told me I wasn't going to perform, but he's like, come, just see it in all of its glory. And I was like, bet. So I get there, and the second night, Aaron Rodgers and all the Jets offensive line is there, okay? And I'm like, well, fuck it. If I can't perform, let me network. I'm good at that, you know? So I see Aaron Rodgers and all them boys, and they're drinking Bud Light. And I was like, hey, are y'all drinking those gay beers because the NFL's watching y'all? Or do y'all want to go and gin pop and drink tequila with a real man, you know? And I go back there, and we start drinking tequila, and people are coming up to me and shit because it's Kill Tony. They know me. Yeah. And it's Aaron Rodgers standing right next to me, and they're taking pictures of me, and they don't notice him. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm famous too. I'm a big star too, dude. I run New York, you know, doing shit like that. But so like we start dipping those little Lucy's that he has, and I try to be Billy Badass, and I put like 3 in my mouth. And I instantly start getting queasy, and I go throw up in Red Band's bathroom because it was the closest bathroom to us. And Red Band happens to be on stage, but he has to piss, and he comes in while I'm in there throwing up. No. And he's like, he's banging the door. He's happy, Lazer, and I opened the door, and I go, some girl did it, and I took off running, you know? But later, we went to the after party, everything was cool, but the next day, Aaron Rodgers messaged me on Instagram, and he was like, yo, thanks for being a homie for me and the guys. He goes, if you're in New York City, just holler at me, you know, whatever. Like, just like, yo, man, you're a cool hang, good vibe. And I screenshot that shit and I sent it to my dad. I go, we made it, motherfucker. You know, because he understands sports shit like that. So that was a pretty cool moment.
Your dad's a sports guy?
He's a sports guy.
So what did your dad say?
He was like, shut the fuck up. He goes, that's not real. That's a bot. I go, shut up, dude. You know what I'm saying? So.
Wow. Yeah, I remember Red Band said that during the show. Does it sound okay, hon? Yeah. Red Band put that. I love doing that.
I love Red Band.
I love Red Band.
He's the sweetest.
We love, our favorite thing is when Red Band gets off a good joke, which, you know, maybe it's once a show.
Zingers.
But if he fires someone up, we'll be in bed. We'll be like, Red Band, you got it going up
from the corner pocket. I always scream that shit when he does it, dude.
Yeah, and then the other thing we'll do if Red Band does a bad joke, like if he messes up or something. I'll freeze I'll spacebar on Tony's face.
Oh no, I was literally about to say that. And he just looks at him with the most disgust.
He'll give him a look like
he's like, Red Band, stop.
And I'll freeze. I'll go, babe, look at Tony's face. Look at Tony's face. He's so mad. And that's literally some of the best stuff on the show. Yeah, is just Tony getting mad at Red Band.
The dynamic of it,
it's unbelievable.
But it's cool to like the behind the scenes of it. Like I can tell, like, you know, thank God for the regulars, but whenever he's got like consistent shitty bucket pulls back to back, Tony starts getting antsy and gets pissed. And I can see.
Oh, he does?
I can see it change in his face just because I've been around him forever.
Yeah. Because he wants a good show.
He wants a good show. Because even like if they're bad, he can still roast the shit out of them like he does.
Right.
But if they're like bad to the point where like, it's like, there's nothing even to pull from it. He's like, why'd you even sign up? You know, there's like, at least if someone comes up and they're shitty, but they got a cool story or something, he can fuck with them. But
I never feel that way when I'm watching it. I'm never like, oh,
maybe it's just me because I know him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm always like, I actually go the other way. I actually think I'm like, how's he pulling so many good comics? Because I feel like half of them are good.
Back in the day when it was at Vulcan before it had the big explosion, there was a lot more shitty comics. But now, dude, where it used to be like 100 to 150 people sign up.
Yeah.
Now Poor Choices, shout out to my boy Nick. He owns that. He owns the Vulcan too. That's like the hub for the signing list,
Yeah.
dude, there's like 400, 500 comics there every Monday signing up.
Really?
I mean, dude, like it's a madhouse over there. So like you get some of the cream of the crop that comes in from the other country who's like, you know, they're seasoned comics and they get pulled. And it's like, that's why the show's so stellar now. Cause there's such a broad array of people that they can pick from now, you know?
Everybody's trying to get on.
I mean, you still get your shit open micers, but yeah, for the most part, it's good.
The other thing that when I try to sell people on the show that I think is so incredible is like, it has that thing, which is, it's such a wide pendulum. Like either someone's going to go up there and be made fun of and, you know, and roasted, or you could become the next biggest star ever.
It's got a platform that's a launching pad
it's
for
like
people.
that swing of chance.
It's a pendulum.
Or Tony will take you on the road and let you open for them, like stuff like that. Like it's a pendulum. Yeah.
It's honestly, and I was talking to him the other day.
So good.
I was talking to Tony the other day. I was like, dude, you realize when football's not around, when Monday Night Football ain't on, it's like the biggest show on Monday night. It's got to be. It's like 2-3 million views on episode. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, it can just like, that Kill Tony kick, that boost is real.
So what happens for you now when you go out and you do? I saw you're doing like a major tour. Like, how many cities you going to?
Oh shit! I mean, they just keep adding to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm everywhere. I mean, I'm in Florida next week, and then
I just saw a list on
Arizona,
your Instagram. It looked like 40, 50 dates.
So like, yeah, I finally got like an agent, a good agency, and like, even though I'm relatively new, you know, like, you know, I'm like working on that craft, getting better all the time, and like, so it's like, and it's starting to transfer. They're like, just more opportunities keep open. So it's like,
and when the people come, like, what?
Well,
what do they say?
I had a following before Kill Tony, right? I mean, obviously Kill Tony helped, but like I did them fit check videos in the mirror and all that goofy shit.
But
that
not
I
a
do.
stand-up following.
Not a stand-up following.
Right.
And see, there's a difference because
I'm talking about who comes to your show.
So it's an array, right? It's Kill Tony fans, right?
Yep.
You know, and then it's like people who follow me since the Oilfield days and shit like that, and like you know, and then it's like the OnlyFans kind of avenue. There's people in that.
OnlyFans,
Like, because I just did shoot for OnlyFans TV. I did like a reality dating show yesterday.
You did?
And they just called me because some guy missed and like didn't show up, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And like at the end of it, when I go like do shoots like that, I just try to fucking make everyone off camera break character. Yeah, that's my goal. Yeah. And we had to cut so many times because people are just laughing, and they're like, dude, you should have your own show. And I'm like,
that keeps you sharp. Were you the host or you?
No, I was like just a contestant. Like it was like a blind dating thing, a miss and match called Mismatch.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's just a one-time thing.
Just a one-time, one-off. That's and great. I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
And your act is, what do you do, like an hour when you get up there?
Yeah, I do an hour. Yeah, I've been doing an hour. Yeah. So,
you tell stories?
Yeah, but I mean, now it's not just, like I'm punching it all up. You know what I'm saying? Now, because like doing 10-minute spots, you know, maybe 2-3 times a night, you know, out in Austin and shit. It's cool. But like, dude, I just had to like, I'm the type of person like, curiosity didn't kill the cat, hesitation did. Just take me to the fucking door, I'll figure out how to open it, you know?
Yeah.
But the repetition of being on the road and doing, because the first couple shows out, they were probably dog shit, but because when you're immersed in it, it's sink or swim. So I just had to get better. So that I'm doing them hours, even though when I didn't have an hour, but doing those hours, it forced me to be like, all right, I don't want to feel that shitty feeling on stage anymore. Yeah. So it just made me start. And now I'm addicted to writing. I write everything what I see. You know what I'm saying? So
have you ever got a chance to talk to Ron White?
Yeah. So
because you remind me of him a little bit.
And that's the thing. Like,
Ron White's incredible. He's a legend, but the way you tell stories and stuff, I was like,
and that's who I kind of like. I didn't really watch a lot of stand up growing up, but I remember when me and my daddy would do like, he'd drive me to like baseball tournaments and shit. So like we'd have that Blue Collar Comedy Tour CD in the Green Suburban, and we put that motherfucker and we listened. Yep. And Ron White was my favorite. Tater Salad, like all that shit.
Best.
Like and I kind of like have that same realm of like how I've gotten that comparison before. Yeah. And he's a sweetheart. He's great. But dude, he was on one of the first episodes I was ever on. I did this.
He was.
I did Ron White. He was one of the guests. Yes. And I did this joke about when Biden traded that Russian war hero for Brittany Griner to like exchange prisoners. And he's like, well, his politics suck. Because I was talking about how I was a Trump supporter, or like saying Trump art of the deal would have been a better person to have in there than Biden. And I didn't realize he's a Democrat. And that caught me off guard. And when I don't give a shit. I don't care if you're black, white, gay, trans, Democrat. Just don't ask me to borrow money. I don't like that. You know, I'm not going to sign your petition. I'm not going to sign shit. You know, I'm not going to lend you shit either. You don't have a job, Kyle. Okay. So, but it was just, like, he's completely sober now. And And I was talking because I remember back in the day he would drink on stage, and then he got sober and shit. And it's just cool picking someone's brain that's been in it, immersed in it for that long,
and such a high level.
It's such a, and it's just like it's a luxury to just be able to. I'm in a green room. I'm like, oh, how you doing? And like just ask him little tidbits. And I don't take a bunch of his time. I'm a busy guy, but it's just cool to see that and be like, yo, I looked up to you when I was a kid. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool, like to meet the people that you like.
Has any like great comic ever like giving you like a tag or a punch up or advice or?
Pauly Shore's goofy ass pulled me to the side one night, and I like Pauly. He's a strange bird. I saw him doing magic tricks with homeless people outside Mothership. He's building an army. I'm sure of it. And but he told me that one time I was on there. He was in the back in the green room watching me, and he's like, "Yo, when you address the crowd, make sure you're panning the entire like." Vicinity of the venue because you're creating too much of a side profile by just looking at Tony in the desk. He's like, be vigilant of everyone. And I was like, damn, that's a good tidbit to have, you know, because then I'm more aware, like, oh yeah, I need to like, where's everybody at type shit.
Right.
So.
And you're doing a movie, is that true?
Yeah, so
can you talk about it,
not a movie. It's a little like it's a little Western series that they're filming. It's like four episodes or some shit. Donald Cowboy Cerrone,
yes, the UFC
fighter. Yeah, he wrote a Western and it got greenlit or whatever. And he was telling me about it before the writer's strike happened, and then the writer's strike happened, so it got postponed. But he called me the other day and he's like, "Yo, you're gonna be this Confederate general. You know, I need a gritty, dirty, just Southern, mean, just grit, just nasty bastard. You know, just mean." And he's like, "I wrote this with you in mind. There's no one else I want to play this." And I'm like, "All right, dude. Well, let me get some acting classes just to be. I mean, I'm good in front of the camera, but I want to be professional, right?" Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, it's probably best you do that because your first scene is a rape scene." And I was like, "Oh, you wrote this for me with me in mind, right? Like I'm the first one that." I was like, "Dude, they don't offer that curriculum at the acting class, you know." So, so we'll see. You know, I mean, I've heard of method acting. We'll see. You know, I don't know.
Wow.
But, yeah. Hey, your first scene ever in a big motion picture. This is what you got. I'm like, hell yeah. You know. So we'll see. But shout out Cowboy, good people.
Damn, is that because when I watch you, one of the reasons I love you is I'll tell her, I'm like, that guy should be an actor. I always say that. I'm like, you should be in you know what I see you in like a big like a Coen Brothers kind of thing.
I love the Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, look, dude,
you have to take class and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take classes,
That's
but
tough. That's a lot of work.
I've always been good with people, like since I was little, and like. You know, like working in the oil field and stuff, you know, I got thrust into a situation young and then I worked my way up and I'm dealing with guys that have been doing it for 40 years, but I know what I'm doing. I was good at what I was doing, right? So like, you have to like finagle your way, like to make this guy who's got upper management above me more experience, but do it my idea, but make it feel like it's his idea. Sure. So you're just manipulating the narrative, right? So like, but when people ask me like, "Oh, do you get sick of the traveling or is it?" And it's different, but like, I used to pull pipe out of the ground in the middle of the desert for 16 hours a day in 120-degree weather. Like that's work. Like this, I used to tell me I got to talk to people and make people have a better day by making them laugh. That's easy.
It's kind of nice that you had that experience.
Yeah, because it
makes everything else
exactly. Yeah, like you don't take shit for granted because it's like, yo, I know what work is. That shit sucks. You tell me I just need to write better and be more vigilant on what I'm doing. Like, so it's just, it's a learning experience.
And
right?
less drunk on stage.
Well, it's not, once I figured out, hey, you can't be fucked up on stage.
Somebody let that go on one of the shows that, you know, you're drinking too much or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and look.
It's the first guest out.
Well, you know, it's my day off, okay?
It's 1:30 here.
Yeah, but it's 5 o'clock in Texas.
That's
How
true,
about
that's
that? True. It's like anything, dude. When you're new at something, you got to figure out the realms of what you can get away with and what you can do, right? And so it just took me a minute to be like, yo, I need to treat this as a job, not as a party, because I'm treating it as like I've already made it when I haven't made shit. So I need to like focus, right? Yeah. It just took a little bit.
Drinking's tough for me in the day. I wish you make it look so good.
Well, that's a damn good tequila. I was saying it was strong, but it's perfect. It's Goldilocks.
He asked for a drink, and Naveen, what did you do?
Well, my dream has been like, when I envisioned being married, I was like, oh, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to make my husband like a drink. Jason doesn't drink. And so I was like, oh, I never get to make a drink. And so I bought those glasses because I was like, I'm going to convince Jason to have a drink this weekend.
Yeah.
And you're the first person to
look at that. Look at that. I would have drank it out of a to-go cup, just so you know. I'm not.
We know.
You know. So, but yeah, no, those are great. Yeah. Hell yeah.
You would have taken it out of the bottle. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Right.
How much partying are you doing these days?
Honestly, to be honest, man, it's gotten. Look, I'm honestly not much of at the house. If I'm by myself, I don't drink. I really
Good.
don't. I'm more of a social drinker,
Good.
right? But like I don't get like messed up before I go on stage anymore, just because now people are paying for my product, and I want to give them something to take home. But I mean, like I have a beer too, because it's kind of my persona.
Yeah.
But I know how to control myself. But it's the part where because it's not just doing comedy.
It's the cocaine.
It turns out you can't do that on stage at all. That fucks your timing up completely. And honestly,
Some people know though. Some people are incredible on cocaine.
Honestly, my perfect.
I've done a set on cocaine.
I have too.
Best set I ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
See, it fucks my.
Because you know what it did, and I'd never do it again. But it made me go up there and not care at all.
Yeah. But you didn't feel any kind of disconnect with the audience though?
No.
Because you
I
ever been at a bar? You
What?
ever been at a bar and someone's on cocaine, geetered to the gills, and they're talking a mile a minute over your head? Because the way I like approach stand-up, or I attribute it to, is like I'm at a bar trying to pick up a chick. That's why it's hard for me in those minutes, because I can't tell you a cool one-line pickup line and take you home. That's not how that works.
Right.
If I got 10, 15 minutes, and maybe she's got friends that I got to finagle so that they can trust me, or she's got guy friends that I got to be cool
I
with.
love this word finagle.
Finagle, dude. And you just have to, and so I can't do that when I'm like messed up. You know what I'm saying? I have to just be in a flow state.
Can't
So-
pick up chicks when you're messed up.
well, now ketamine gargling on yourself.
Have you done ketamine?
It's not for me. I've
What does it
tried
do? I had somebody here on the podcast tell me all about it.
Look, if it's done
is
in a responsible setting, it can be very therapeutic. It's a very it breaks down the ego pride that you have about yourself and makes you reevaluate shit that you're doing and shit you need to be better at. I will say I've done it in a professional setting like that, and the next day I felt like, okay, these are the things I need to change about my life. Like not in like a depressing kind of way, but like in a informative, like, hey, this is a betterment for myself. I need to do this kind of way, which I like. But I got buddies that'll do it at the bar, and they'll just be a gargoyle standing still, like gargling, foaming at the mouth. I go, you ever like think about Legoland? That's what a K-hole is.
Legoland.
It's a K-hole. That's a Legoland, and you're just like blocky, and it's stupid. I hate it.
What a
I
great
can't.
description of
Yeah,
Legoland.
well, yeah.
That's yeah. I knew exactly what you meant when you
Boom.
said Legoland. And then what other drugs? Heroin.
No, never done heroin. That's the only drug I've never done.
There are
Everything
a lot
else,
of drugs in Austin.
yeah, there's a lot. It's easy to find.
What's Austin like?
It's like Haight-Ashbury in the 60s.
Yeah, is it?
Really, something's happening down there. It's unlike anything. They'll write about that time and that explosion of that comedy scene and everything in books. I guarantee it.
What are the bad parts about it? What are the negatives? Is it hard to get on an open mic?
No, it really ain't. That's look. I didn't come up in the open mic circuit, right? Which
Yeah, you skipped it.
I got, which a lot of people hate me for. Look. I mean, I get it, dude. Okay, but when you got good hair,
That's
what are you
okay.
Gonna,
Don't ever.
look, everybody's path is different. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's path
And-
is different.
and
That's right.
My mom used to tell me it's not how you get there; it's just about getting there. So
That's
I don't
right.
hate anybody for
No
anything
one
goes wrong.
cares how you
But
got there.
I was in Chicago for St. Patty's Day, and I did a private gig. And there's a girl up there. She features for me on the road. She's from Chicago. She's like, it was a Monday. I didn't fly back to Tuesday. She goes, hey, get dressed. We're gonna fucking go do some open mics. You're gonna do a circuit real quick. So we did 7 open mics tonight in Chicago. Now, each one is like 20, 25 minutes away from each other. So we're driving that in and out. And I'm like, fuck, that sucks. And then you go there for 10 people, 7 of them are comics. They don't give a shit about what you're saying. So I'm like, I would have quit comedy if I'd have went that route.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about Austin that I really like, in a fucking 10 block radius, you can hit 7, 8 different shows a night.
Oh,
it's
wow,
everywhere.
wow.
Now, a lot of people are moving there, and there's some killer open micers, that are iron, just waiting to get their opportunity. But you can still get plugged in everywhere if you're working on it, and you can walk to it, which makes it extremely convenient.
It's like New York City.
Basically, I went up
Even
there the
better,
other day.
probably.
Yeah, it is
because it's smaller than New York City.
It is. It ain't the hustle and bustle of that big ass city. New York scares the shit out of me.
And you got hired for a private gig. Well, that sounds really.
It was
fun.
at a fucking roller rink. Yeah,
Just somebody with
a
a lot of
fan.
money and a birthday party as a fan and says, "Come on."
exactly. And I was already in there. I was doing Zanies or something that Thursday or Friday, and they were like, "Yo, Saturday, I'll give you $2,000 to come do 45 minutes." I said, "Done."
Insane.
And I got to rollerblade for free. So what a treat was.
You did a half an hour at a roller rink.
Dude, listen, I show up drunk, divorced, hungover. Look, if you're gonna pay me some money, I'll go put it
A
on.
private gig can go poorly.
It can, but I did one in Stillwater, Oklahoma, at a barbecue joint outside. And if you've done comedy before, you know
Outside's bad.
it's hard.
Yeah.
And two of the guys that I bring with me, one of them did well. The other guy, he kind of fumbled a little bit because that outside, when the laughter isn't closed in and you don't get that momentum and you really got to be funny, you can't crowd work there. You got to have jokes. You know what I'm saying? And it'll eat you a lot. Those outside gigs are hard. They are. But it went well. It was like 200 people. And it's just like, look, I finally jumped off stage and walked up to people and was just doing stand-up in front of all of them instead of being on a stage on a venue out above them.
You were just walking
I was like,
around
fuck it. I'm just looking at people talking shit.
It's a good one. Yeah, because a private gig, if it goes bad.
Corporate gigs kind of suck.
I've never done a
You never done a
I
big?
don't think so. Oh, I have, but not stand-up. But yeah. Have you done a corporate gig?
I've done like stuff for like.
Now, don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you're my favorite. You seem like the type of guy that might not be doing good at a corporate
See
gig.
that, and that's kind of and so that's when I learned.
Like one person at Microsoft loves you.
Yeah, but not the whole HR department. They fucking hate me. Okay, Carol from accounting hates my ass.
Right.
But look, that's the thing. But that's another growth aspect of it too,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Because like I'm still gonna be sexual. I'm still gonna be. I'm still gonna throw bad dick at single mothers. I'm gonna do that. That's my prerogative. But I started learning because I'm starting to see a shift in my audience where it used to be just oil-filled redneck guys bringing their girlfriends that were forced there. Now when I get off stage, if I see like a girl that was obviously looked like she was drugged there, I like, not drugged, but like you know,
I
not
see what
that.
you said. I'm glad you cleared it up.
I go up to her and I ask her honest feedback because if I want to appeal to the masses on everything, I have to say shit more witty, right? I can still be crude and humorous, but you have to say things in a clever way. Like, you know, like I can't just say, I blew her back out. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to say, and so now here recently I've been getting off stage and there's been a lot more younger girls, that are my age or younger. And I'm like, yo, what'd you honestly think? She's like, honestly, I wanted to hate you at first, but there's something about it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Right? And I think that's what people miss. It's like, I'm still going to be me, still going to be loud and outlandish, but let me say it in a way where like people can relate, not only males, but like females. Like the UTI story. Like,
Yes.
Right? It's like, that girl gave me a UTI, but she also told me she had a UTI, but my dumb ass was like, can't have UTI without you and I, you know? And so, bow. And so,
That's a good joke.
It's just maneuvering, you know, finagling.
Yeah, I told Naveen that. I said, you're great because you're masculine. And then what happens when you're watching you is like, okay, this guy's going to be 100% masculine douche. But then you're not. You have a feminine side. And when that comes out and you have both.
It's a cool dynamic,
It's a great dynamic. And it makes you go like, okay, this guy is sensitive.
At the end
and that makes it so much funnier.
At the end of the day, I attribute it to like, when my granddaddy was dying, and he's like one of the best human beings I remember. He was a cowboy, a real cowboy, like broke horses, fucking rode bulls, like fought chickens. He fought chickens. He's a cowboy, right? I mean, I don't know what came first, chicken or egg, but he'd been fighting them since the dawn of time, okay? Right. And when he was dying, he told me two things. He was like, when you walk into a room, you got to know that the room got better, not in a cocky sense, but in a sense that you get to meet somebody and they get to meet you. And for a moment in time, you get to be kind to somebody and you can change the outlook of their life, their day, their month, their year by just meeting them with a hug, a handshake, a smile, a compliment. He said it doesn't cost any amount of money just to be kind to somebody. He said just be friendly. You know, be somebody that somebody wants to be stuck in an elevator with because nobody wants to be stuck in an elevator with an asshole. So I just try to approach shit as like, I'm here to make y'all laugh. And I know I look and talk a certain type of way, but if you needed a shirt off my back or you need me to fix your fucking tire, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just be nice. Be kind.
That's really good. Your grandfather told you that when he was dying?
When he was dying. And he also told me that, hey, look in that drawer. This is your inheritance. And it was a harmonica. And I pulled it out and he goes, that translates well to eating pussy. And I go, all right, I better learn that.
I thought it was going to be cash.
Yeah, me too. And I'm still broke.
Can you play us some harmonica?
Yeah, you want to hear? Here, you want me to hear?
Okay, so Lazer played with Jelly Roll the other day.
Yeah, at a private party. It was amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Great guy. That's one of the best.
Aaron Rodgers, Jelly Roll, Tony Hinchcliffe, Red Band.
Yeah, dude.
All the celebs.
And I literally didn't have running water in my house until I was 9. That's crazy, dude. So anybody can come from the slums. But
you went to school with a bunch of dumbasses. So
here, I don't think I've ever done a slum podcast, but I will. I'll explain it, right? So
that's the one your grandfather gave you?
No. The one he gave me, I've got mounted, hung up. And they wear down over time and you have to clean them and get new ones. It's just like anything. But there's 10 frets, like 1 through 10 on the harmonica. Yeah. And it just so happens that the same distance from 1 to 10 is the same distance from a woman's butthole to her vagina. And listen, I don't make the rules, okay? I measure twice and cut once, okay? And so this is what a vagina sounds like. Right? pH a little off, but we get it. And
I wanted to hate him at first.
and yeah, they really did. And then this is what a butthole sounds like. And I've never found the clitoris. And Cosmopolitan says like a little jelly bean or something, stuck between the couch cushions, I guess, because the search continues. But if I ever find it, it's like, goes like this. Yeah.
Wow.
Like yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. Well, you grow up poor, you got to fucking find shit to do. So,
and a harmonica is 99 cents.
It's very easy. And
Dollar General.
I can take them everywhere. Keep them in my back pocket. Keep that thing on me all the time.
Fuck yeah. And was that fun with Jelly Roll? Was that like
Yeah, it was
a
cool.
little rush?
Yeah, we were George Kittle, the 49ers, 49ers tight end.
Yes.
I did like a beer Olympics thing with the Bussin' with the Boys guys from Barstool, and me and him just hit off. He likes wrestling and shit, and he was like, "Yo, you should come to my little private party thing we do before this football season." This is last year.
Oh wow.
And I was going to be in Calgary performing at Stampede that time. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll try to change my flight. I didn't really think much of it. I thought he was just being nice. And he literally called me when I was in the airport. And he's like, yo, me and my wife need to know if you're going. Because we want you to do a little stand-up. Just be out and hang out with everybody. And I said, fuck it, I'll change my flight right now. So I flew in and went. It was just cool vibe. Everybody's hanging out, having a good old time. And I thought because he's good friends with the Kings of Leon guys. And I thought they were going to be like the musical guests. But he had a couple other musicians there too. And then Jelly Roll showed up and I've been a big fan of Jelly Roll.
This
forever.
is our private party that George Kittle threw?
Kittle Fest. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, it was in Tennessee. In Nashville.
Tennessee?
Yeah, it's like he's got like a complex out there where
You
he
like
trains
Nashville?
and stuff. Yeah, I actually do. That's not really country music to me. I grew up on red dirt, Texas country, and like old classic country. But I mean, look, I love music. I've been loving it my whole life. So anytime someone expresses their shit, I'll take a listen to it. It may not be what I'm into, but
And before you were doing stand-up, you were in bands and stuff.
yeah,
right?
I played with my brother's band. I've played with a couple bands around the circuit. With my brother's band, they used to tour around the country too. So when I was off of work, because I worked 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, I'd fly out to them and play with them on stage and stuff. So, but yeah, Jelly Roll walked up there and he did like 4 or 5 songs, and I nudged Kid. I was like, yo, I've got my harmonicas on me, and I know he plays that Save Me in the key of G. I've got my C on me. That's a C right there. I was like, I can play that with him. I know the song. Yeah. And he asked Jelly Roll, and Jelly was like, hey, Lazer, come on up, baby boy. And yeah, I got to skinny one. I mean, and honestly, dude, Jelly Roll is probably one of the nicest, genuine human beings I've ever met in my entire life. He performed and was there, and we're all eating and stuff, and everybody's coming up to him, and he's taking pictures, and he's genuinely like, not just, oh, hi, hello, take a picture, and oh, how you doing? He like would have conversations with you. Like, he told me some shit one night in Mothership, just like some me and him one-on-one. He told me some stuff, and he's like a vote of confidence. He's like, yo, you wouldn't be here unless you're supposed to be here. He's like, you just got to keep getting better. You got to keep getting better. He's like, your counterparts want to see you get better. He's like, always keep working. And just like, he's a nice, genuinely nicest human being I've ever met in my entire life. Great guy.
And that's I guess that's why I like the show so much too, is like, you get to see you get better and better.
Yeah, growth.
Over the years.
Growth.
Like,
yeah.
wow, Lazer's fucking really fun.
But I got to stop coming on stage fucked up, though. At least stoned. Because I thought.
Yeah, you do.
I thought stoned would. Because when I did that almond milk joke, like almond milk's like making everybody trans.
That was a great joke. What's the joke? Yes.
Are we sure almond milk ain't making everybody trans?
Yes, yes.
And I like that joke is from a 9-minute joke that I do on stage about I legitimately got transfished by what I thought was a woman turned out to be a guy, and they're getting hard to spot. And look, I'm not a guy. You do whatever you want. Like I said,
yes.
I just genuinely thought this was a woman. And then when she's like,
she's like, I am a woman.
Well, she was sending me she's like, yo, I do the OnlyFans stuff, and I was like, yeah, send it to me. And she would just show me videos of her like blowing guys, and I'm like, well, there's my wife. I love her very much. And I was like, well, let me see the undercarriage. And she's like. She's like, would never send it to me. Then one day she like sent it to me, or she went to send it to me, and she's like, shit, I didn't send that to you, Uncle Lazer. I sent that to my Uncle Mike. And I was like, fuck, Thanksgiving's gonna be strange. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, your family know that you do OnlyFans and stuff. It shouldn't be a big deal. She goes, yes, but they don't know that I've fully transitioned.
Oh wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? Like anally to vaginally? What are you telling me? And she goes, oh, you didn't read my bio? And I was like, yeah, I don't really fucking read all that much, And she's like, oh, I'm a biological man. My name's Bradley.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in the wrong chat room, right? And then she goes, but wait, I'm post-op. And I was like, you live by the post office? What's happening? I didn't. And she goes, no, my wiener has been surgically, devise into a woman's vagina.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not Christian,
Right.
But so I stopped texting her and then I FaceTimed her. I said, let me see that little thing. What that little thing look like? A lot more shallower than you'd expect. Shallow. Yeah. Yeah, real shallow. Yeah, I love her.
I like that you said shallow.
Yeah, shallow.
Like Van Morrison.
Yeah.
Shallow. La, 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 la.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's one of the jokes I derived that from.
That's
but
great.
I can't tell that in a minute, right?
No.
Like, it's too much detail. So, but when I did that, I noticed when I walked out on stage, I slowed down, and I write a lot when I get high, like on weed. It makes me very creative.
Sure.
Right, and I take a little bit of an Adderall so that I don't lose focus. And like, that's my perfect cocktail. I'm gonna be honest. If you want the secret, I got a how-to video coming out in June. You can get it at your local Blockbuster.
3 gin and tonics to make sure I'm level.
But I just try to review the film and I'm like, okay, I just need to slow down. So when this last episode came out, like I tried to slow down, but it's like, that's not me. Like I'm abrasive and like, wow,
Yeah.
but I still need to be punctual in like jokes per laugh, right?
Yeah.
So that's just a writing format, but I still need high energy. Just come out fucking swinging. I can be slick fast, but I have to be punctual. And I'm starting to learn that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, I can figure this formula out.
It's okay.
Because if I got time to elaborate, I can paint you a fucking picture. You give me a minute, it kind of hems me up. But it's just another. I've watched Ron White do a minute on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And that's where I knew I was like, okay, even though he's a storyteller, he is a comic and he can write to that avail. And that's what I just need to work on.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to do.
You'll get there.
Yeah,
And that's what's so great about the show.
We'll get to the bottom of this tequila before anything. But everybody thinks I'm strung out on drugs and like shit. I'm like, dude, honestly, I haven't even really been doing cocaine that much. I've just literally been smoking weed a lot. Because in the oil field, they drug test you every time you go back out to work. So like
They do?
Yeah, dude. They'll show up on raids with like SUVs and dogs and like search for shit in the trailers. Cause dude, you gotta realize we lived on location and in the middle of the damn desert in West Texas Permian and in New Mexico, some locations we were on, the closest convenience store was 2 hours away. You'd work a 12-hour day. You have to drive 2 hours one way and drive back.
Wow.
So you had to stock up on it. So guys would bring alcohol and shit and they'd hide it up in the rafters, but they'd have like dogs and shit show up on location. And like, so like I, from the ages like 19 to like 32, I never really smoked weed. I smoked in high school, but then I like, now that I only get drug tests, I'm like, yo, I love this. But then, you smoke, now they got dabs and shit. That shit gives you Down syndrome when you smoke it. Oh my God, I just lock up. What's
a dab?
It's like this wax stuff that's like 99% THC. When you smoke it, you better cancel all your plans.
Oh, really?
It's like crack marijuana. It's crazy.
No.
Yeah, it's nuts. And
Does weed make you eat a lot? Do you work out?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was on test and shit a lot when I was in the oil field, but then like with the traveling stuff, so hard. But I'm getting back into it and
What
stuff
do you
like
do?
that. I used to do just test and deca stack, but now I'm
No, I mean to work out.
just
I just made
my
like
bad.
testosterone.
Yeah, I just inject my thigh. No big deal. Yeah. No, I mean, I like to run a lot, and I
Oh, you should run at the beach while you're here.
yeah, no, I planned
You
on
should
it.
go to Santa Monica. It's my favorite thing to do.
I've been to Santa Monica Pier. I fucking love it up there.
Run from Santa Monica Pier to Venice Pier. It's the fucking
Well,
best.
that girl that gave me that UTI, she lives up in Newport, so I'm gonna go see if I can't get that again. That'd
Yes,
be nice of her,
yes.
You know,
Newport.
so
And
Newport
you know
Beach.
what's great about it is you don't have to run in the sand. There's a pavement.
Yeah, the little
The boardwalk. And
thing.
it's just the best. The best.
Yeah,
of
'cause
both
that sand
worlds.
is
That's my
tricky.
favorite thing to do.
Hell yeah.
Is run at the beach.
Y'all got some good Mexican food up here too.
Really good.
Really good. It ain't as good as Austin. It's different, but
Yeah.
very
It's
good.
Tex-Mex there,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Because I don't see a lot of menudo. Y'all don't have menudo up here. You know what menudo is?
The band.
Yeah, we're gonna eat the band. No, menudo is cow intestine, but when it's done,
Menudo means cow intestine.
It's-
Is that good?
when it's done correctly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it cow? Yeah, it's cow intestine, not pig intestine. Cow intestine.
Was it fleshy? Is it like a filet mignon? Is it rubbery?
It's like a broth, like spicy broth, but it's got that intestine in it, which it's a weird texture. I will give you that.
Does it look like octopus when you eat it?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
real. And honestly, if it ain't done correctly,
Yeah.
tastes like shit
Yeah.
because it is.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't see a lot of that. Tex-Mex is different than California Mexican food.
There must be some downside to Austin because I want to move there. I always talk about it. I'm like, I wonder if I would like it.
You know what the downside is? bud?
What?
Y'all feel this weather out here right now?
Yes.
Beautiful, ain't it?
Oh, it's hot as
Let me tell you something. It's hotter than the devil's drawers out there. And in at nighttime, it's like a warm fart.
Yes.
It's humid and it's just, yeah, dude, it's sweaty. That's the only downside, I think.
We were just talking about this the other day. Naveen and I were talking about this. We're like, well, LA come back? Because that's a thing that we always hear. It's like, the city's dead or whatever, and the comedy scene's in Austin now,
But the movie stuff's still out here, ain't it?
and that's what I said. I said the weather, it will come back.
I think
I don't know if the movie stuff will come back, but there'll be something here. There'll be tech companies. There'll be something because this weather is the best in the country.
it's too pretty. Like it like this. When I get out here, I'm just like, damn, this exists. Like to sit outside on that rooftop last night and watch the
Yeah.
sun go down and look at the Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
If you were to do that in Texas around, you'd be sweating like profusely to
Yeah.
the point you'd have to shower before you went out. And like, dude, it's beautiful out here. But dude, the cost of living out here is so much higher than
I know.
anywhere I've ever been.
I know. So
So-
you're making a lot of money now.
I'm making decent money. I ain't making as much as I was when I was in the oil field, but I'm making good money.
No, you must be. With all the shows?
I mean, I do good on them, but I mean, I was making like 25 grand every 2 weeks when I was in the oil field with bonuses and shit.
Oh, wow.
Like 400 is base salary. There was like
Oh, and then
quotas and shit we hit.
how do you get a bonus in the oil field?
So you have like an allotted amount of days for completion, right? So they give us 17 days. Well, if we shaved it off to 14, that's already budgeted out. So they give it to the drillers that did that.
And you get 3 days off.
Essentially, yeah, but you get paid, but all that quarterly, that money that was like allotted for the funding of it,
Yeah.
they break it down and they give it out to the people that were like responsible for
So
cutting
do
it down.
you say to your coworkers, like, guys, let's get this shit done in 14 days?
It's like so, but then you get guys cutting corners and shit like that, and then it gets a little dangerous. But yeah, for the most part,
Ever
it was,
have an explosion?
yeah,
Bad?
we take big ass gas kicks. So there's this shit called H2S. It's a odorless and colorless gas, and it's deathly. Like it can kill you like that. Like I think it's like 10 parts per million can like paralyze you. It's very bad. There's monitors all over. But like if you
It's
take
a gas and you can't smell it.
you can't really. It has. They say it's odorless. You can smell it a tad bit. It's a weird sweet smell. But like by the time if you can smell it that close, you're done. Yeah, I mean you're done. You have everyone wears monitors, HQS monitors. They'll start going off. You have to go to a mustard station, go downwind where the wind's blowing the opposite direction away from you. And but if you you get to drilling and there's these big pockets because like gas, it takes the path of least resistance, right? So
Right.
it wants to come uphole. So when you're drilling, you drill with a heavy type of mud that pushes that gas back, like that holds it back, and that's why you can drill your well bore. But sometimes you'll hit like an influx of gas, or you'll hit like a void in formation where you'll lose your fluid out into the formation. So instead of packing it off, it seeps out into like this void. Well, when that happens, it's called what's taking a drink. And it sucks out all that stuff. Well, that gas can now fly up that well bore. And if you don't shut it in time, and if it hits a rock or any kind of stuff in there and sparks, it can catch a rig on fire. I've seen that many. I mean, I've never personally been on one,
Right.
but I've seen the videos. I mean,
Right.
it starts just spewing and just flames coming out of the ground. And you can't do anything because if you don't shut the well bore in, like you close the rams on it and like it crunches the pipe and shuts everything down, it'll just burn until that excess gas is burnt off. Because while you're drilling, there's a flare like burning off excess gas. I've seen them get up to like 60, 80 feet in the air. You can feel the heat from it. Yeah.
That's crazy going to a job every day where you can die.
Yeah, but it's kind of exciting. It's the only thing that gets me hard in the morning. I have erectile dysfunction because of that.
Well, what about stand-up? That must make you hard.
Honestly, I will say, and you can probably, since you've done stand-up and you can attest to this, saying a new joke for the first time
Oh, yes. We were just talking about this.
and figuring it out and getting it to hit is better than coming. Is it not?
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
I'm
Okay.
with Naveen, so no. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we Naveen and I had a joke the other night. She helps me with my stand up, and
She writes with you?
yeah,
Ain't that the best to have a partner to bounce shit off
the
of?
best.
God damn it.
Or we'll
dude.
be riding home, and we'll be riding over there. She's like, "You should try this," and then we'll try it. It'll work. And then the Christina joke was so funny, right? Remember?
Such a good
That one worked.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, I don't know. That is the best.
So, just to point
Yeah.
that bouncing that shit off somebody, legitimately, the other night in Indianapolis, I don't know the boy's name, but he was a fan.
Damn,
And
you're all over.
He came up to me to the merch booth because I'll do merch, take pictures, just meet the fans and shit. And he comes up to me, and that trans joke I was talking about where I get transfished, the guy's name's Bradley. Now, my closing joke is this, I meet this woman off Christian Mingle. Anyways, after the date, like we take a bunch of ecstasy together at her house, and she's got these plants like Jumanji in her house, this hippie woman, right?
Yeah.
And I shit myself in her bed that next morning, okay? And essentially, I don't want to give away the whole joke, but essentially, I push it over to her side of the bed and I leave, and I blame it on her, and I never speak to her again, right? Because I'm a piece of shit. But she calls me and she's like, hey, I want to address the shitty situation. You know, I used all the shit for fertilizer for all my plants, whatever. And she's like, I want you to come back over because we had a great time, and I'd like to make love since we didn't get to make love that night because we just held each other and cried and looked on Zillow for houses we couldn't afford and shit like that. And, you know, I end the joke where basically like she handcuffs me like this role playing shit to her bed, like up like this, right? And then she handcuffs my ankles to my wrists. So I'm like about to get my diaper changed, and she starts, you know, doing this butt shit. She picks me up like a fucking bowling ball and everything. And then the punchline of the fucking joke is like, she holds me up like a bowling ball, and I come and shit everywhere. It's incredible. And then she like lowers me back down after I've just deflated, and she's like, hey, Lazer, by the way, I just want you to know that I have Ring cameras throughout my entire house, and I know you shit my bed, you piece of shit motherfucker. Now listen, that's where I would end the joke every single time, but I felt like there was more, but I never could figure it out. A fucking kid in the audience that was watching me comes up to me, and this is the best tag I've ever received in my entire life. He comes up to me and goes, hey man, in that Christian Mingle joke, he goes, it's awesome. He goes, why don't you have it where like she pulls like off her wig and it's Bradley? It's the trans guy. And I've run that the last 3 shows I've done and dude, I got a standing ovation in Syracuse with it.
No
I was
way.
like, what the and it's just those little things.
Little callback.
Like, so having someone that you can bounce, like your partner bounce, it's so intuitive, right? To like have that, like, that, because sometimes a bird's eye view, someone looking at it from another perspective, can see shit that you can't see. And it works. So that's cool. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm, you know.
And how is your love life? You probably can't have a girlfriend. You're probably just.
I'll put it to you like this. I don't have enough time for myself right now, let alone another human being. And I'm honest with them. And I'm communicate. Honesty's key. Like, but look, baby, I can't.
What do you say? What do you say?
I can't date you, but I said, if you want to come on down to Austin, Texas for a weekend and take a shot at the title, I'm your guy. If you want a shot at the Intercontinental Champion, I'm your guy. And look, I'm just not. I'm like, look, y'all come down to Austin, I'll show you the best time ever. We'll go out, we'll eat the best food, we'll see some of the coolest comedy shows, come to the best music venues, among the best bands, and we'll just have a vibe. And we'll leave it like, just like, you know, if we make love, we make love. If we don't, we don't. Let's just hang out. And just, I'm about people and vibes with people. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm not trying to, no fuck shit, no drama, no stupid. Like, let's vibe and have great energy together. And I said, like, if I find love, yeah, cool. I know how to be a one-man relationship. I know how to be a good partner.
You seem like somebody that definitely will find love.
I will.
And you seem like you fall over quick.
I want to be a dad at some point.
I can see you just madly. I can see like turning on Kill Tony in a couple months.
And I'm pregnant.
And Lazer being like, you know, Tony, I fell in love.
I did meet.
She rocks my world every night. I can't go anywhere without her. Her name's Anastasia.
I did meet this girl in Buffalo, and
I
put my tonsils in the back of her butthole, and I tell you what, she's a special. And that big meat and potatoes kind of gal just beat me up and screaming at the TV when the Bills are losing. I love her. Shout out Gina, love you, Gina. And yeah, so I mean, but it's just busy, man. You know, I mean,
you
just get, and it's hard to put it like focus on to truly be like into someone, to focus on the stuff that they need when I'm like waking up on strangers' couches and taking Uber rides home in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be in a better place before I can actually give my energy and effort like they would deserve.
It's awesome.
Right.
All right. Well, if anyone wants to take a shot at the Intercontinental title.
Hey, call your boy.
All right. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for coming. You're going to be all over the country?
Yeah, so when does
this
air?
Comes out Monday.
Oh shit, perfect. Yeah, I'll be in Florida all next week.
Florida, I'll be in Tampa Improv.
I'll be at Side Splitters in Tampa.
Side Splitters,
love
great.
that club.
Great club. Tampa's great, by the way.
I love Tampa.
We went to Tampa.
It's one of my best markets. Florida.
Tampa's good.
I love Tampa. It's a great
It's
city.
pretty cosmopolitan.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's done up. It's nice. In the Orlando Funny Bone, and then I'm in the Black Box in Boca Raton, and then the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville.
Great. All over Florida.
All over, and then back to I got Arizona. It's all over, man. I'm just
drive or fly around Florida.
Drive. I mean, I'll fly into Florida, and then we'll rent a big car. Me and the guys I'm bringing, bring a little camera crew, do like some VH. I was honestly about to get married to this woman on the beach in Boca Raton. I'm glad that fucking didn't happen. She was a nightmare. Oh my God. Yeah.
Why were you gonna get married?
Because it just felt right. I'd known her for a month.
And now why are you saying she was a nightmare.
Well, she blew my best friend in Vegas, so I just kind of, that's where you kind of, you have to draw a line in the sand, dude. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to cut your losses, thanks, bud, So.
Who told you that? Did he call you and tell you?
Well, yeah, I put two and two together, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, dude, when I get off the plane, I'm beating the shit out of you. So
I guess we're not getting married.
Yeah, no. So he kind of dodged a bullet. So in the adverse effect, he kind of saved me.
See,
she was going to move in and everything.
See, like I said, you feel like that type of person that could just meet somebody. But you got to be careful, man.
I do, man.
You got to be careful.
I need to start.
You got to keep going with
I don't think I'm fertile, though. I don't think I can have kids because I can't even pull out of a driveway, and I've never even had a pregnancy scare in my life.
Seriously?
Dead ass.
Never?
Never. Not one, even when I was a kid.
You can work on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can drink like milk of the poppy or whatever and get your sperm count
I'm not
up,
sure.
so.
How do you work on that?
Fertility?
How do you make your sperm better?
Well, maybe so if you did 30 days of no drinking and just eating sweet potatoes, you could impregnate everyone.
So you're telling me
eating
it's
a lot
impossible.
of protein.
You're telling me it's impossible. No.
I could never quit drinking.
Yeah.
And I hate sweet potatoes.
I do like sweet potatoes, but I can.
But she's right. She's right. If you
Just
know,
protein,
if you quit alcohol,
potatoes,
you're
no
probably fine.
I honestly have looked into it, and that was the main contributing factor was the alcohol consumption. They say once you the first 7 days after you've been sober, there's so many miraculous things that your body detoxes from.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever take 7 days?
What I really want to do, I'll go periods of time where I don't drink and stuff. But what I really been researching and looking into it, I just need to have a set time when I'm off tour to do it. I want to do a 72-hour water fast. I heard that shit's incredible for your body. It resets it, your cells regenerate themselves, and it knocks out any kind of cancerous cells in your body. Dana White did it, all kind of stuff. And I was reading some of the studies are doing.
Dana White looks great.
It's extremely beneficial for your health. The 72-hour just water cleanse.
I don't know if I could go.
I don't think I could do it either. I'm hungry right now. And I ate an Adderall, and I'm still hungry.
Hey, babe, you watch the show. You have any questions for Uncle Lazer?
Come on.
Yes.
Go.
Well, to be honest, just going back to the dating stuff, I just want to say, I always have something to say. I think if someone's so busy, the best thing you can do for yourself is have a partner because you're not worried about dating and you can solely focus on your career because you have someone that's at home that's rooting for you.
I love when you make your late Uncle Lazer face.
She's onto something here. Yeah, but at the same time, you're a woman, so women they're more nurturing by nature, right, than men are, right? And so they could be my rock and, have me and but there's nights where we go out and I may not be performing, but I've got to go out and network and when I go out, I can't not drink. I'm a social drinker. I am. And it's just because I'm not drinking to black out or anything. I don't want to be that weirdo in the corner drinking a fucking liquid death. That's just not me. It's not who I am.
That's you.
Hey, he's got good hair too, though. We all come in different forms, shapes, and sizes. But
let's go home, babe.
But I do like that structuredness in having someone to tell me I need to be reprimanded and held accountable because when I do that from how I was raised, it's okay, that person's depending on me. So something in my brain fires says, okay, I got to be there for her. But if they're not with me, if they're in another, they live not in the city, I've got to do my job. And where I would keep drinking all night and watch the sun come up, if they were there, but they have a job and shit. I'm not to the point where I can take my significant other on tour with me all the time, right? And I don't know anybody that well yet that I would trust. I'd be comfortable. Hey, come with me, do this, quit your job, blah blah blah. So yes, I fully agree with what you're saying to 100%. But it's just I got to find my person before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all got baggage and shit, and I know I'm a different realm of baggage and trauma that comes with it. So I got to find somebody.
What kind of baggage you got?
I mean, just shit growing up. My parents were divorced. Look, dude, my mom slept with all Metallica in the late 80s, okay? My mom's a different kind of animal, bud, okay? And, so I grew up around a lot of shit that I seen.
It's quite the badge of honor.
Yeah. She's she would she would douche with vinegar, you know what I'm saying? That was her way in, you know what I'm saying? So.
She was I don't want to say groupie, but she was somebody that went on tour.
Oh, no,
with,
she's a great, yeah, no,
She was a
my
groupie.
mom partied, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's got stories for days. So, like, I grew up in this realm of stuff, and I've seen shit that a kid probably shouldn't have seen, but on the flip side of that, it kind of made me who I am, and it kind of calloused me in a way.
100%.
And my mom taught me life in a way of which I never would have experienced without living, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today without my mother. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
100%. You have to take all those things. That's what makes you you. That's why you're a great comedian. That's why you are able to look at life that way, because you had those experiences of like, fuck, what's my mom doing? It's the same thing for me. Like, you know, it totally shapes you, and you can't go back on it.
And one thing I look back at now, because me and my mom butted head a lot when I was a kid, you know, like growing up, like my mom was just like, don't get anybody pregnant, make good grades. I don't care what you do. So I would never come home. But I was smart enough to make good grades and didn't get anybody pregnant. But like for a long time, I resented my mom just because like, yo, you shouldn't put a child through that. But then when I got older and I started experiencing life and the trials and tribulations up and down, I was like, Mom, you were just a kid doing the best you fucking could.
100%.
And like I have so much admiration and love for her now because now I'm in a spot where I'm like, damn, you were doing this with 2 kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can barely do it by myself. And you were doing this with kids, and we never went without. We always had food, and we had lights were always on. We had a roof over our head and shit. But like, you know, we didn't have a lot, but like we didn't go hungry. And for that, like I was like, I got nothing but love for you.
Hats off to your mom.
You know, she's the best. She retired from Frito-Lay. Like,
Frito-Lay?
Yeah, she made chips for 35 years.
Really?
Yeah, the chip people.
And she retired?
Yeah, now she got this 401k money and just got new countertops, matching microwave and stuff. I go, where the fuck was this at when we were kids? You know? We're sharing milk for cereal and you got new countertops,
We had no running water.
Yeah, dude.
How did she work for Frito-Lay and go on tour with Metallica? That's what I want to know.
That was before. Like, that was
Okay.
before she had kids. That was when she was in her early 20s.
We got to get your mom on this podcast.
She's incredible.
One thing I love about Kill Tony is I love when he has like William's parents on.
They're the best.
They're so funny.
They're the best. She at that New Year's Eve party where I told my mom I was going to quit. She was actually in the crowd, and David Lucas and Tony came up after the show and like just roasting people in the audience.
Oh yeah.
And Tony did not know my mom was there, and points my mom out. She goes, "You look like Uncle Lazer's mama," and it was my mom.
No way.
And they fucking had a cool interaction. And he busted out laughing. So yeah, it was cool, man. Super
Anything
cool.
else for Uncle Lazer? Whose real name I still don't know.
We have no
Yeah, you
idea
can't
what
find it
this
on the
person
internet.
is.
Spotify.
You can't?
Mm-mm.
That's awesome.
As someone who like discovered stand up later and not like you didn't grow up watching a bunch of stand up, you didn't want to be a stand up comic. What's the dream goal for like 10 years from now?
Great question.
Damn, that's a great question, actually. Really, honestly, man, I know you got to believe in yourself first and foremost. So I believe I have something here. I wouldn't have made that jump to do it, right? But you know what? I've been poor, and I've made a lot of money and been rich. And my grandma told me something when I was little, and I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. Money doesn't buy happiness. It just buys a change of misery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it is I'm doing or what it is I'm trying to accomplish. I just want to be the best version of myself. And the only thing I'm scared of is not fulfilling my potential to my fullest, right? So I don't know what 10 years holds. I hope it's exponentially like greater than the level that I'm at now. But if I can show up and make people's day just a tad bit better, but with laughter, I've won. That's all I want to do.
Wow.
That's all I want to do.
It's nice.
Great question.
That's a great
answer.
question.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Go
Great
ahead. Anything
drink
else?
you made me, by the way.
Thank
dude.
you.
What's in this? Truth syrup? You know, my God.
All right. Well, listen, we're gonna let you go. It's just an awesome podcast.
Thanks for having me, Oso.
Dude, you're awesome. You're my favorite. Keep going.
Hell yeah.
Fucking go easy on the drinking.
Yeah, no, we're hanging it back.
And keep writing. And I'm gonna come see you live. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
let's
can't
do
wait
it.
to see the
Let's
hour
do it.
show.
I'm in Torrance, California on the 29th. It's a Sunday
You
show.
are?
Me and Jason Ellis. Jason's going to feature
Jason
for me.
Ellis?
Yeah, so we got connected, and that's a crazy son.
You seem like that's quite the connection. You and Jason Ellis.
And
what a
honestly,
combo.
I will say too, dude, his stand-up is getting astronomically better.
Yeah, we
too,
heard it
dude.
was really good.
He's getting like, and we've been
Doing
homies,
good?
and it's just cool. And I know we're trying to go, but
No,
like,
take your time.
I'm not from
trying.
this world of like, you meet a lot of people in this world, and it's just like, yo, outside of this, I would never fuck with you because you don't have a conscious vision of what life is actually like. You're jaded and they're so, I don't want to say the term, they're so LA, but I've met a lot of people, you know, sitting in green rooms with some of these people. And I'm like, you're not a normal person. Like, that's not how life works, right?
Yeah.
And meeting Jason, And he came and did my podcast, and to this day is the best podcast I've ever been a part of.
Sure.
His story of like
He's got a crazy story.
alcoholism and like all that, and then like now he's completely sober. He's found love. Like like it's just like to see that crazy son of a bitch do something like that, and then see it turn around. It gave me hope. I was like, yo,
Yep.
you can live a little bit. You can make mistakes, but if you buckle down and like, you know, you turn your ship around, you can sail them seas. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, we'll be in Torrance, California. I'm doing an hour. He's gonna do 30 minutes.
Where?
For me. The Machine Gun Comedy. I forget. I don't know what the exact name, but the Machine Gun Comedy Group puts it on. They contacted me and was like, and I didn't have a show in LA, and I was coming off the back end of Arizona. It's a quick flight. I was like, fuck it, let's do it a Sunday show.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, it's in Torrance.
Sunday the 29th. So you're here for a while.
Yeah, no, I leave, but I'll go to at the end of October. I'll do Arizona the weekend at the Mic Drop or Mic Mania, and then I'll do Sunday there in Torrance.
Okay,
how far is Torrance? I don't even know.
Torrance is an hour away
I don't think I've ever been to
from
Torrance.
here. It's further than you think.
I know, and they were saying like 30 minutes away from LA, or downtown. Hell, I don't know.
Depends how fast you drive.
How far is Torrance from here? 31 miles by car, hour and 20 minutes. But of course, there's a lot of traffic.
Traffic
It's
right now.
Friday, but
Yeah.
on a Sunday night, it'll take you an hour.
Okay.
All right, Uncle Lazer, go to UncleLazer.com. Go to Instagram, follow him.
Yes.
Catch him on Kill Tony, and most importantly, catch him on the road. He is just my favorite, a rising star. Just keep going, brother. We
Thanks,
love
buddy.
you. We love you. We love you. Every single week, I just love seeing you. And when you're not on, I'm like,
Yeah. Well, Tony, let me in the big house.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Just buying my time. Just getting better every day.
Yeah.
So, here we
All
go.
right. Bye, guys. Thank you so
Later.
much. Thank you, Naveen, on the ones and twos.